These are the top 10 scary artifacts that should have been left alone. I'm your host Andrew, and let's get right into this. At number 10 spot, we have the Coronet Diamond. This diamond is one of the largest cut diamonds in the world and is part of the crown jewels of the United Kingdom. However, this diamond has had years of controversy ever since its discovery. For example, this object has been fought over for centuries as the British began to colonize other places in the world. One of the places being in southern India when they fought bloody wars and eventually signed a peace deal with this diamond being part of the deal. Now India wants this diamond back, but do they really? Especially knowing that it's cursed, because according to legend attached with the Coronet Diamond, it is considered to bring misfortune to anyone who possesses it. This is because every person known to own it or wear it has been met with a life full of violence and betrayal. Luckily, this only affects men, so this is the sole reason why this diamond is only worn by ladies in the royal family, because if a guy did, they'd probably be somewhere a lot worse. The British royal family were obviously aware of the curse of the Coronet Diamond, and from the reign of Queen Victoria, the Coronet Diamond has always gone to the wife to the male heir to the British throne. At number 9 spot, we have the Uluru rock curse. In the middle of Australia lies the monolith Uluru, which was formerly known as Ayers Rock. This area is a sacred and historical site for the indigenous, and they highly recommend you not to take one of the rocks from this area. However, after having over 300,000 visitors yearly, some are bound to take a rock for some sort of souvenir. However, the local legend goes that anyone who displaces or takes a rock out of the area will be cursed. Some visitors who casually pocketed chunks of the sacred landmark and took them home found that they experienced a series of bad luck events. Some of these visitors were struck by guilt or misfortune, and several hundred travelers each year send their holiday keepsakes back. So you can imagine how bad this curse is if people are literally flying back to this place just to give back a rock. The rocks that were returned were named sorry rocks by park rangers, and they would supposedly receive around 400 rocks a year. That's almost one every single day. I wonder how many people are cursed here because they just took one single rock. At number 8 spot, we have the Swansea Devil. This wood carving of a devil is not only a creepy object, but it carries its devil name with a badge of pride. Located in the Swansea Museum in Wales, this is either called the Swansea Devil or the name the locals give it, Old Nick. This wood carving was created all the way back in 1890s when a church in the area decided to undergo some big renovations. However, the renovations would be put on hold and another outsider would be put on the job, causing many locals to be angered. One local was so angry he decided to buy the property around the church and construct buildings with this wood carving standing on top of it, staring down at the church. The architect is reputed to have cursed the church by saying, quote, "When your church is destroyed and burnt to the ground, my devil will remain laughing." So when World War II hit and a German blitzkrieg hit the area, the church was left down to burn with the devil carving on top of the building just staring down at it. Nowadays, the devil is kept at the local museum where it's said to be facing the direction of the newly constructed church in hopes that it will burn down once again. At number 7 spot, we have the Mori warrior mask. For those who don't know, the Mori people are the indigenous Polynesian people of New Zealand. They were well known for sculpting facial masks prior to fighting in a war. These masks were not only made for art but to honor their ancestors. Any man who passed away during combat while wearing these masks is said to have left his soul behind. Overall, Maori masks were employed to protect a person's soul. Experts have discovered a number of Mori masks that were previously belonged to noble soldiers. They say that the Maori masks are in fact cursed though. The curse itself is not dangerous to men, however for women who are pregnant, they should avoid touching or wearing them since they can bring harm and bring ill luck. A British museum took this warning very seriously, posting signs about the curse to warn women. Maori tradition dictates that a pregnant or menstruating woman is tapu or taboo, and so are the artifacts, meaning that if these two come in contact, a curse would be invoked. At number 6 spot, we have the Goddess of Death statue. Often regarded as the Goddess of Death, this stone figurine was most likely once a fertility statue. Most of its features wore away by the time it was discovered in Lem, Cyprus in 1878, but that didn't stop it from becoming one of the most cursed objects in history. Lord Elephant was the first statue's owner. After a brief moment with the statue, he alongside 6 family members would meet their demise. The same thing then happened to the figure's next few owners, including the last, Sir Alan Biverbrook. He and his wife and his daughters passed away shortly after taking possession of the statue. His remaining sons donated the statue to a museum where the curator would pass away as well shortly after touching it. Now the statue is kept behind locked glass, nowhere close to be touched in the future ever again. Right in the hump of our list, we have the Black Sarcophagus. Archaeologists dug up an ancient black sarcophagus in Alexandria, Egypt, dating around 300 BC. Upon discovery, they had become ever wary of the possibility that the sarcophagus could be cursed. But we are humans and we never learn, so guess what? We opened it. Inside were the remains of 3 skeletons, ancient etched drawings, and ancient sewage water, making this a perfect gift. I'm just joking. There are many drawings of poisonous and venomous creatures around the sarcophagus, making many believe these are warning signs to keep away. And guess what they did? Scientists went through every single bone, but had to stop multiple times due to a terrible odor. The worst part about this is that many people actually believe the sewage water found in this sarcophagus was associated with the Fountain of Youth. Number 4, Crying Boy painting. Painted by Italian artist Giovanni Bragolin, this painting became very popular in the 1950s and many prints were made because of it. The boy in the photo was said to be a mute orphan who was crying after seeing his parents pass away in a fire. Well, during the 80s, there was a huge string of house fires where the painting came out unscathed. Coincidence? I don't think so. The whole house would be destroyed and plop, here's a fully intact painting. Fire station officer Alan Wilkinson personally logged 50 fires where the painting survived, so you could say it's pretty resilient. Eventually the news broke out about this painting, and on September 4th, 1985, the newspaper would be published in a British tabloid newspaper called The Sun, which would try to convince the public that the painting was cursed and was the reason for all these house fires. At number 3 spot, we have Man Proposes, God Disposes painting. This painting of 2 polar bears savagely attacking human remains depicts an imagined episode in the mysterious and grisly tale of Sir John Franklin's 1845 failed expedition to find the Northwest Passage. This painting reveals just how distressing the Victorians found the failure of this scientific expedition and the plight of the crew. It was even said by some college students that one time a girl was staring directly into one of the polar bear's eyes in a trance-like state. Then the student took her own life in the room, and when they examined her exam paper, she wrote, quote, "The bear made me do it." The painting still hangs in the Royal Holloway University in London and is now covered every single year during exams because of this incident. At number 2 spot, we have Letta the Gypsy Doll. It's notorious for being one of the world's most haunted dolls, so listen up. The origin story goes that a man in Romania made this doll for his son. The little boy would tell his father that the doll would talk to him and would move on its own. But of course, the father and his wife said that this was just in the child's imagination. Unfortunately, one day the little boy was playing with his doll near a body of water and he ended up drowning. Now it's said that the boy inhabits the doll. The current owner of the doll, Kerry Walton, said he found it in an abandoned and allegedly haunted building. They found it in a basement and the doll was supposedly child-sized, so upon first sight, they thought it was a child's body. The doll was reported to be over 200 years old, made with wood and real human hair. What? When he brought the doll home, the doll was reported to make the children cry all night because she supposedly talked to each and every single one of them, and she would move around the house freely as well. Ever since the doll, Walton has never had so many strange things happen in his life, and I don't think he's lying about a lot of this. At a number 1 spot, we have Don't Look in This Mirror. The Myrtles Plantation in St. Francisville, Louisiana is considered one of America's most haunted places, and for good reasons. The most infamous is the mirror that can be found in the main floor of the building. According to the legend, the former owner of the house, Sarah Woodruff, and her 2 daughters were poisoned by their helper, and once they passed away, they were trapped inside of this mirror, supposedly. Visitors of the house reported seeing handprints, strange marks, and even figures dressed in old-fashioned clothes lurking in the mirror. Others report seeing Woodruff's children appear in the mirror near the room where they were poisoned, and one researcher noted that each time the mirror is replaced or resilvered, the same handprint reappears as if they refuse to be ignored. Regardless, mirrors have always been a scary thing for many of us, and this artifact just confirms that we shouldn't mess with some of them. Well, these are the top 10 artifacts that should have been left alone. I'm your host Andrew. What do you guys think about this video? Leave a comment down below, like and subscribe for some more content, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.